And we are clear to start your Sunday morning. We're going to see sunshine once we get into the first half of your day, but we might see a little bit of cloud cover to finish your day before we start ushering our first real round of spring-like weather. All the details coming up.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, Richmond County students will head back to school this week. How school officials say they plan to keep students safe. Details as your #1 source for local weekend morning news starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
And good morning, sunshine. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see you. I'm Sean Cabbage-Stock. We'll get to your news of the day in just a few seconds, but first let's head over to meteorologist Alex Moore. And Alex, this morning wasn't as chilly as some of the past mornings we've seen.
No, thank goodness, because the frost on the windshield ordeals in the morning, not really having it.
Not at
I told
all.
you, I moved down south to avoid all of the wintry stuff. Right now, Indiana is getting a bunch of snow, so I'm just so happy I could wake up and not have to deal with frost or snow on the car this morning. And Sean, it's glorious.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for us, we're not only going to have a little bit of a warmer day today, we're going to start to see a few extra days of more like spring weather. So it's going to be pretty nice. Yesterday we reached 63 degrees, so it was really nice here. Today we'll be in that 60-degree range again, so it should feel pretty nice. That cloud cover is around in some spots for your morning, so that's why we're staying just slightly warmer to start off your Sunday, but nothing in terms of precipitation. The radar is clear. Temperature-wise, around the CSRA, Evans at 40, 37 here in Augusta, 40 in Louisville and Sandersville. Saluda at 33 and closer to the coast, we're into the lower 40s. Barnwell, Allendale, and Bamberg, 41, 42 degrees there. A little bit of cloud cover around the metro area, same thing. If you're not in the city, you're in the mid to upper 30s. If you're in the city, it might be a tad bit warmer. But as I mentioned before, we should be sunny today. Those clouds will return late. We'll have temperatures around 60 degrees, and then we'll start to see our winds change tonight, Sean, to the south, and that's when we're going to start to see things start to feel a little bit more spring-like going into Monday.
Sounds good to me. Thank you. And new this morning, many across the CSRA are remembering Coach Louis O'Gorman. He died early Saturday morning at 83. Fondly called Coach O'Gorman by many of his friends and former players, he may be best remembered for his popular basketball camps that ran from 1964 to 2010. He also led the girls' basketball teams at Denmark Olar High School to 77 straight victories. He was a 1955 graduate of Blackville Hill High School. A graveside funeral service will be held Monday at 11 o'clock at the Blackville Cemetery. Augusta Transit plans to make some changes to its services. Our Ashley Jones reports.
Augusta Transit leaders are now cracking down on passengers not wearing masks. The latest enforcements come from a new mandate from our new commander-in-chief, President Joe Biden. Just few days after being sworn in as President of the United States, Joe Biden signed an executive order mandating masks on federal property. That means in Augusta, in order to catch a ride with the city's transit system, you must be wearing a mask.
Our buses are funded in part by federal dollars. So the mandated face mask requirement does apply to our bus services.
Transit drivers were implementing masks for riders on buses before, but now they will refuse services without them.
The drivers do have masks, so if you do not have a mask, you can ask the bus operator for a mask. But drivers will be mandated to enforce the mask wearing.
Due to the pandemic, transit leaders are still encouraging essential rides only. But with no bus fare required, they're still facing the issue of people riding the bus just to ride the bus.
It's a damp day today, it's cold, and then sometimes we have riders who are riding the buses just to stay out of the elements. And of course, they are displacing, or they may displace, the riders who are going to work, going to the grocery store, going to the doctors.
Dr. Page tells Channel 6 that ridership in other cities has gone down, but that's not the case here in Augusta.
We haven't seen a significant drop in our ridership because the rides are free. Those people who are just riding the bus for the sake of riding the bus have taken their place. So now we have the essential riders who do not have much choices as to how to get from home to work.
And with the shortage in staffers, the transit system now has to minimize its services.
We have a fixed number of staff, and when one of those may call out sick or for some other reason, it has an impact.
Right now, you can expect delays on the number 5 green line, the number 7 pink line, and the number 2 gray line. In Augusta, Ashley Jones, WJBF News Channel 6.
And transit leaders are also looking to work with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office to help with enforcing that mask policy. We are awaiting the identity of the person killed Saturday morning. It was a pedestrian. According to the Highway Patrol, the incident happened on US 28 near Ferry Road, about 10 miles north of North Augusta. We're told the pedestrian was walking east when a car traveling west struck that person. There are no charges in this case. An update to a story we told you about yesterday. Authorities in Saluda found a possible military ordnance. Officials say Saturday morning it was located under the water near Black's Bridge in Saluda County. We're told an angler using a casting net for bait snagged what he described to be the possible ordnance. Once he recognized it, authorities say he let it loose and then marked the area and notified them. The ordnance was removed from the water and transported to a nearby safe location where it was destroyed. Governor Brian Kemp signing a new executive order to expand the eligibility to administer COVID-19 vaccines. Licensed professional nurses, medical assistants, and physician assistants can now get the vaccine. They were already allowed to administer the shot, but this order eases supervision requirements. Kemp has already signed other orders, also allowing dentists, pharmacists, and EMTs to administer the vaccine. The sanctity of human life is our most precious and fragile. Those words coming from Governor Henry McMaster, who showed his support of the fetal heartbeat bill via Twitter. He's urging the General Assembly to quickly pass the reform and send it to his desk so he can sign it immediately. The bill will not allow abortions if the heartbeat is detected. However, there is an exception if the mother's life is at risk. If signed into law, a doctor who conducts an abortion after a heartbeat is detected and the mother's life is not in danger will face felony charges, jail time, and fines. South Carolina lawmakers are set to discuss a bill that will give teachers the pay increase they've missed out on last year due to the pandemic. In 2020, South Carolina lawmakers did not pass any new budget and the step increases were frozen. Now the House Ways and Means Committee unanimously passed a bill to unfreeze those increases. They want to use $50 million from the state's reserve fund to pay for those increases.
So it means that in essence, teachers are losing a year of, not of salary, but a salary increase, that then ultimately contributes to retirement and things like that.
And if the bill passes the full House, it would need approval from the Senate as well before heading to the governor's desk. Richmond County schools will return to in-person learning on Monday. School leaders say they are ready. Here's our Wes Cooper.
A significant amount are still unknown, but we have to still, charter those murky waters.
Richmond County elementary students will return to in-person classes Monday, January 25th. The school district believes it is prepared.
We're taking extra precautions in places like our cafeterias or lunchrooms, at major thoroughfares and walkways. We're cleaning door handles.
And I can assure you that our superintendent is up many late hours trying to map the right course for our school system. But as far as with the risk, we have to realize that not all risks can be mitigated, but we do the best that we can. And a big chunk of it has to do with individual decisions.
Tuesday, January 26th, students in middle, K-8, or high school will be able to see their teachers again in person. Students are required to wear a mask when they can't socially distance themselves, like during class transition.
Encouraging, of course, the use of hand sanitizer. We're not using water fountains, or we're using touchless water fountains where our students are refilling water bottles so that we don't have as many touch points.
Richmond County School Board President Charlie Hanna has kids of his own in the school system. Just like his, he wants yours to be safe. He says no decision was made half-heartedly.
It's that the school system is doing its best to keep our children safe and to educate them, and we ask that they help us in the process, be our partners in reference to keeping best practices at home, because the fact is a significant amount of the spread does not happen in the school, but it eventually ends up in school.
And that was Wes Cooper reporting. McDuffie County Schools will have a new schedule. Starting Monday through February 5th, students will work on a blended model. Groups will be in person. Group A will be in person. Group B will be virtual. For a full look at the new schedule, just head over to WJBF.com. Edgefield County Schools now facing a shortage of substitute teachers. The district says the pool of available subs have shrunk by 50%. The school system is partnering with Kelly Services to bring in new substitutes. They're going to have an open house on January 28th at Jet Middle School for those people who may be interested. Aiken Tech and USC Aiken will hold their annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Celebration today at 3. The keynote speaker will be Benedict College President Dr. Rosalind Clark, artist. The event will be held virtually, and we have those links available on our website. An Aiken County community is mourning the loss of its longest-serving mayor. How the community is remembering him in less than 3 minutes. As we told you yesterday at 9 o'clock, Larry King died at the age of 87. Former home run king Hank Aaron also passed away at age 86. A name just as famous in the community of Sally, South Carolina, long-serving Mayor Bob Sally. Our Ashley Jones shows us how people who live there are remembering him this morning.
He was more than just a mayor.
At 90 years old, we'd come to work on a Saturday, and he'd be out here mowing the lawn himself.
And more than just a war veteran.
He was very proud of being a Marine and very proud of what he did, but he didn't brag about anything.
He was a man determined to improve the small town of Sally, South Carolina.
He did everything from the beginning to the end. He would check water meters, he would paint buildings, you could tell that he was a service person.
Nathan Sally Sr., known as Bob to most of the people here, died Tuesday at age 94. He made history as the town's longest-serving mayor, giving more than 20 years of his life to the town that bears his family's name.
Now that he's gone, we have lost a lot of his knowledge that he's had.
Sally's family set the foundation for his service. His roots here ran deep.
They go all the way back to the land grants, all the way back to the early 1700s when the king was giving out land, and the Sally family was there.
Right now, city leaders are working to continue honoring his legacy.
You know, for someone that's been in office that long and done so much for the town, and the town's already, named after him, but for something to be more specific for him, geared towards him, instead of just, Sally, it can be for Bob Sally, Nathan Robert Bob Sally.
Tonight, Sally's current mayor says the former mayor will be missed.
The legacy he's leaving is a mayor that always looked out for everybody and everything.
In Sally, South Carolina, Ashley Jones, WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, we've had a fairly calm start to your Sunday, a little bit of cloud cover keeping us mild to start the day. Temperatures are going to be close to that 60-degree mark once we get into the afternoon. Clouds will be increasing going into tonight before we start to see a bit of a change. I'll have the details after the break.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
And a look at our Jiffy Lube Scribing Network over Washington Road. It is a little bit cloudy to start your day. It's keeping us a little on the warmer side, especially here in the city, that we have temperatures in the 40s for us around the metro area, but outside of that, it could be in the 30s unless you're close to the coast. Right now, no rain over the radar, which is nice, but we're going to continue to see a pretty dry day today. Temperature-wise, 37 Aiken, Edgefield, McCormick, Lincolnton, Washington, and Thompson. Same for Augusta, 39 in Evans, 40 in Bamberg, Allendale, Barnwell at 41, so a little warmer as you get closer to the Atlantic coast. Winds are out of the northeast. There's a high pressure system just over the North Carolina, Virginia border. It's slowly starting to move towards its lovely Bermuda high territory spot, and that's going to start to bring our winds out of the southeast. So gradually throughout the day, we're going to see this high pressure change our winds from the northeast to start the day, and then by the end of your Sunday, we'll see the winds out of this generally the east-southeast, and that's where we're going to start to see that change where the humidity will slowly start to pick up. It's going to feel a little bit more, a little bit warmer as we get into the beginning of Monday, as a warm front starts to develop, moves towards the north along Tennessee into North Carolina. So as it's to the north of us, we're going to continue to see that breeze out of the south funneling in the moisture and the warmer air that we're going to see ahead of this front. And this front's going to, it's going to develop, it's going to mature, and it's going to start to stall out just to the north of us on Tuesday. So that's going to bring us 1 or 2 more rounds of showers. We're going to stay on the south side of that, so we should stay warm getting into Tuesday and Wednesday, but that front's going to pick back up getting into Wednesday and Thursday, and then it's going to bring a cold burst on the backside as it moves out Thursday going into Friday. So we'll drop down more into normal territory getting into Friday. But rain chances with the warmer weather, we're going to have higher chances for showers. So it'll feel pretty nice Monday. It'll feel pretty nice Tuesday. We'll have to dodge a few showers Tuesday and Wednesday, even into the beginning of Thursday, but that'll clear out. Looks like we'll have sunshine to get into next weekend. So overall, not too bad of a day ahead of us, Sean. We saw 63 degrees as a high yesterday with plenty of sunshine. It was almost a picture-perfect day for January's sake, but for those of you like me who like the warmer weather, Monday and Tuesday is going to be really nice.
And I can't wait. Thank you so much. One very lucky person bought that $1 million Mega Millions ticket. We'll tell you where. I know it's not Georgia. That's coming up. The winning $1 billion Mega Millions ticket sold in Novi, Michigan. Jennifer Ann Wilson takes us there.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. That is so great.
Did you buy that ticket?
No, I didn't. I wish I did now. Had I known that that was it, I would have bought it here.
Lori Burkhart was about to buy her Mega Millions ticket here at the Novi Kroger.
And the line was too long, and I was trying to be safe. And so I'm like, all right. So I started going to other stores. Yes, I bought my tickets somewhere else. And no, I didn't win with those.
Well, one Kroger customer here in Novi did win the third largest lottery prize in history, the $1 billion Mega Millions jackpot. Now, these big jackpots usually have multiple winners from states across the country. But this Michigan winner gets the money all to his or herself. So time to check in with your friends. They might need help spending it.
I'm going to start texting them, asking them, hey, did you go in this Kroger's? Are we winners? We.
If the winner opts for the cash payout, they'll get around $730 million. After taxes, that amounts to about $530 million. Still a lot of money, more than 10 times the amount the previous big winner in Michigan scored. And the many people I met who didn't win say they don't feel like losers because good fortune for one local person gives hope to all.
That's good, someone from here, from Michigan, instead of outside and then right here close to home. So that's awesome. That is so awesome.
Can you believe $1 billion winner came from right here?
I can, because we're willing to take risk here in Novi to be fortunate. And hopefully that person will be that person who also shares within the community. And I know they will, because that's what Novi does.
And coming up on Good Morning Augusta, former President Donald Trump continues to make headlines after he allegedly discussed plans of overturning the election while in office. We'll have more on that, plus details on his second impeachment trial. That's coming up. But first, let's send it to New York, where Dan Harris is standing by with a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America. Good morning, Dan.
Hey, good morning. Coming up on GMA, we are just a day away from the next big step in Donald Trump's second impeachment. On Monday, the House is expected to send one article of impeachment to the Senate. We'll talk live to a member of Congress who will prosecute the former president. Plus, the latest on the pandemic. The numbers are starting to fall across the country, but there are those fresh concerns over vaccine availability and the new coronavirus variants. And finally, the search for the lucky lottery winner who has that $1 billion ticket. It's all coming up on GMA. We'll see you soon.
From Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
And it's 7:30. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Sean Cabbage-Stock. Time for another check of our forecast with meteorologist Alex Moore. And no changes since we spoke with you earlier, right?
Nothing's going on, Sean. It's been a pretty boring morning so far weather-wise. I mean, at least we didn't have to deal with the frost this morning.
Exactly, and at least we don't have to deal with any rain either.
Not yet. It's for January, this is going to be a nice stretch that we're going to see. The next 3 to 4 days, we're going to get into the 70s. So a couple of days, we'll have a pretty warm start. As we get into the rest of the week, we're going to taper down the rain and the temperature back to more normal stuff by the end of the week. So don't get too excited. But this is our first kind of step in the spring direction as we get to the end of January, and hopefully the end of February won't be as cold and as brutal as we've seen so far. But everything so far that we're going to see is out west of us right now. That's going to bring a warm front to the area, so that's going to warm us up. But as you can see, some snow in Indiana, Nashville seeing some showers along the Mississippi down into Louisiana and Texas. Eventually that's going to move to the north of us, and that's going to give us a little bit of a warmer, nice southerly breeze getting into the beginning of Monday. And so that's where we're going to start to see the changes when temperatures tonight aren't going to be as cold going into Monday morning. That's when you'll start to feel really the first kind of sign that we're going to have a pretty nice warm day for Sunday, albeit we might have to dodge a couple showers here and there over the course of the next few days, Sean.
All righty, sounds good. Thank you. As the Senate prepares for former President Trump's second impeachment trial, the New York Times is reporting that Trump is being accused of discussing plans with the Justice Department to overturn the election while he was still in office. Here's Andrew Dimbert.
The date of former President Trump's second impeachment trial is now set to begin the week of February 8th, more than a month after the violent attack on Capitol Hill.
We have to address that and make sure it never happens again.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will send over the article of impeachment on Monday. According to the Constitution, the Senate trial will begin at 1 p.m. the next day. Senators will still be sworn in as jurors on Tuesday, but both sides will then have 2 weeks to prepare.
During that period, the Senate will continue to do other business for the American people, such as cabinet nominations and the COVID relief bill, which would provide relief for millions of Americans who are suffering during this pandemic.
And now Trump is reportedly being accused of discussing plans with Justice Department officials to overturn the election while he was still in office. In a stunning report by the New York Times, citing unnamed sources, Trump allegedly discussed removing Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen in order to execute a plan to pressure Georgia officials to flip the state's presidential election results. The man who reportedly worked on the plan, lawyer Jeffrey Clark, the Times reporting Trump allegedly mulled over whether to fire the acting AG and replace him with Clark because Rosen refused Trump's request to carry out the alleged scheme. According to the Times, Trump decided against firing Rosen only after top Justice Department officials threatened mass resignations. Clark telling the Times their report contained inaccuracies and that all of his official communications were consistent with the law. Trump declined to comment, according to the report. The latest report could have an impact on the former president's upcoming impeachment trial. Both Rosen and Clark could be called as witnesses. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington, D.C.
According to the Census Bureau, during this pandemic, nearly 30 million Americans are considered food insecure. Friday, President Biden signed an executive order to expand food stamp benefits to help the nation's poorest families. Here's Raquel Martin.
1 in 4 households in the United States are experiencing food insecurity.
Dr. Lauren Bauer, an economist with the left-leaning Brookings Institute, says new action by President Biden will help millions of families struggling to put food on the table.
We have to act. We have to act now.
Friday, President Biden signed an executive order to expand access to food stamps.
They're barely hanging on.
Though Congress and the Trump administration boosted food stamp benefits for some recipients during the pandemic, they didn't include everyone. President President Biden's order goes a step further by increasing payments for the nation's poorest families who were already receiving the maximum amount before the pandemic hit.
This is going to affect about 12 million people, and 5 million of those people are children.
The order also boosts EBT payments for families with school-aged children. But
Congress needs to get involved in it again.
Bauer says the increase doesn't last long.
That money's going to run out in June, and I don't think anyone thinks the economy is going to be in recovery in June.
President Biden is proposing a $1.9 trillion package to address the issue. But that plan is already facing pushback from Republicans, who oppose the high spending and some of the bill's provisions, like increasing the minimum wage to $15 and non-targeted stimulus checks. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
And Alex says that we could see a taste of spring this week, but it's going to be short-lived. So here are some tips on how to stay safe when the temperatures drop again.
I don't like it. Makes me want to fly to the south and stay to the south.
It's that time of year again here in New England when temperatures become very cold. In freezing weather, your body can lose heat fast, and frostbite and hypothermia can become a danger. Older adults, the homeless, and infants are most at risk of getting hypothermia.
Me, this time of the year, if I'm on the roof for like 10 minutes, my fingers, they freeze up. I got to warm them up. I'm a roofer. I've been doing this for 50 years, but you never get used to it.
If a person is experiencing hypothermia or frostbite, seek medical attention as soon as possible. Get them into a warm room or shelter. Use dry layers of blankets and clothing to warm them. Place areas affected by frostbite in warm-to-touch water. And always use caution when treating a frostbite. Renee Lassard of Chicopee said she's prepared for cold weather and will bundle up.
Right now it's the jacket, the hat, the boots, everything you need. And you got to deal with it.
Health experts warn that when weather is extremely cold, to stay indoors. If a person's temperature is below 95 degrees Fahrenheit, get medical attention immediately. Working for you, Christina Demores.
And very important tips. Thank you. We're out there somewhere with George Escala in less than 3 minutes. Something different is taking shape in downtown Augusta. It's the middle of winter during a pandemic, but some brand new art is offering a bit of an escape. Hit the sculpture trail out there somewhere with George Escala.
They're opening some eyes downtown.
It's pretty cool. It's cool to see everything. And, you know, I mean, I think it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest.
The air is alive downtown with art, new art, sculptures, part of the Arts Council's Augusta Sculpture Trail.
I think it livens things up. It looks great.
10 new sculptures are in place, like this one, a music conductor and his one little kid orchestra. The conductor, the artist says, is really into it.
He was a very energetic figure. He's not doing this, he's doing this, and you wanted to show that the power of what he's doing.
But the public decides what the sculpture is saying.
He's composing a child of one.
Yeah, he's kind of over-conducting, I think.
Yeah.
There's some cool ice cream bars and a giant horned lizard. Then there's this large one with a hat. Maybe it's Uncle Sam's flamboyant cousin.
To me, it looks like a nutcracker.
And is this one tall guy, or is the sculpture vaulting over something with large weights around the ankles? It's like Jumping Jack Flash.
Yeah.
So check out the new sculptures, and the old ones might make you feel good too. Out there somewhere in Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Well, we do have a little bit of warmer air starting to move into the area as we get to the rest of your Sunday. Our winds are going to start to slowly shift from the north to the south, so we'll start to usher in that warmer air. Hopefully nothing like Bismarck. That's where we're sending Sean. 2 degrees. Have fun up there.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
And a look at the Jiffy Lube Skyway Network over at SRP Park. Nope, Sean, there is no McDonald's there.
You were talking about that double quarter pounder with cheese, Alex. You got me over here hungry now.
You know, Sean, what's actually more impressive is that I've done the mobile app the last 4 times I've been to McDonald's, and every single time it's been wrong.
Oh.
I don't know if it's the mobile app ordering or if it's been just a coincidence, but it's also been in different locations too. I don't know. That's just my luck.
Yeah, well, good thing I never had that experience, because usually whenever I get stuff on the app, everything is good to go.
Yeah, everybody loves the app, so. Well, we have a great app, weather app, which you can check throughout the beginning of the week, because we're going to have some showers and some warmer weather. Oh, hey, Sean, how you doing? He's doing all right. I think we've lost all control. Is that, yeah, no, we've lost all control. We've officially derailed Sean. I'm just kidding.
Well, there's your map.
Yeah, there's the radar. All right, and we're back. So we are clear today. We shouldn't see any showers. Once we get into the overnight period, we're going to start to ramp the chances for showers up going into Monday. Temperature-wise, this morning's going to be a little bit cooler. Tomorrow morning's going to be a little bit warmer than today, just as we go through the next few days and the warm front passes through. That's when we're going to see the changes. But right now, the wind's still out of the northeast. That's going to shift to the south gradually over the course of the next 24 hours. And you'll start to feel a little bit more humid air starting to move into place, getting into the rest of the really the evening going into tomorrow night. The high pressure system just over us is eroding, so eventually it will move off to the east. That'll help in adjusting our winds to the south, but that warm front off towards Tennessee, that's where we're going to start to see our winds changing out of the south, and that whole section really just to the south of this cold front, this warm section, is where we're going to see that warmer air, those isolated chances for showers, and maybe some sunshine and maybe a nice moment or two here and there throughout your Monday and Tuesday. But as long as we're on the south side of this front, we're at least going to continue to have the warmer air and the chances for some showers for Tuesday. The good thing is that we'll be on the south side of that front, so temperatures Wednesday and Thursday should be in the 60s. Rain chances start to decrease going into the end of the week, and luckily for us, we'll see plenty of sunshine next weekend. But for today, expect temperatures around 60. We'll have some sunshine mixed in with the cloud cover. But tomorrow and Tuesday, it looks like we're going to have our real first taste of spring, Sean.
So make sure you have your umbrella with you. Thank you, Alex. Sports is next.
WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
So come Monday morning, Clemson will have fallen out of the top 25 after back-to-back losses to Virginia and Georgia Tech, but Saturday they're still ranked at number 20, facing off against Florida State. These two teams trending in two totally different directions, as the Seminoles have won their last two, and Clemson trying to avoid that third loss, ending that skid opening minutes. It's the Noles going with the alley-oop over the top to tie the game at 2, then same guy, Wyatt Wilkes, right back at it, same rim, same slam. Then Clemson would trail by as many as 38 in this one. Hard to imagine Clemson beat this team just 3 weeks ago, as John Newman, the high man, as they fell by 1980 to 61. Now, the Gamecocks also trending in the wrong direction, hosting Auburn here. Sharif Cooper with the kick out and dish to Jalen Williams from deep. And on the opposite end, it's the man that forewent the NBA draft, I should say, is A.J. Lawson with the answer to that response. Gamecocks having a tough time slowing down the heavy artillery from deep as T.J. Thrower knocks down another triple, but Auburn shot 52% from the floor. Gamecocks only 41% as they fell 109 to 86. Here's Frank Martin on his team's performance and how it stems from the lack of practice.
And I haven't, those 7 weeks where we couldn't, I think we had 6 practices, if I'm not mistaken. I think I said this to you guys the other day. This is like AAU ball right now, what we're trying to do. And in AAU basketball, if you ever go watch an AAU tournament, the defense is really bad for the most part. Why?
Gamecocks get Georgia at home on Wednesday night. And in Aiken, the Pacers hosting Columbus State, a very back-and-forth game in this one early. A familiar face right there, Christian Chambers. Yeah, he plays for the Cougars. Pacers able to stretch the floor out here. Gus Rowland driving to the lane, then he kicks it out at the top of the key to DeMontez Oliver for 3, gives them a 7-point lead, but Columbus State with a lot of fight here. Former Evans standout, like I mentioned, Christian Chambers with the dish down low to Devin Porter-Wilson for the finish. Then this time, Chambers making it count from deep. That's 3 for Chambers. This one tied at 23 as Hunter Preston gives the dream shake and finish at the basket, but the Pacers finish the half strong here. Rowland with the spin, kick out to Unyuri Costello. Pacers hand on to win this one by 10, 75 to 65. And Friday night, the Atlanta Hawks cruised a 116-98 win over the Timberwolves for their 3rd straight win. Trae Young had 43 points, while Clint Capella arched his first career triple-double. They head to Milwaukee on Sunday to play the Bucks. We have highlights from Milwaukee as Trae Young and Clint Capella go for that 4th straight victory.
And if you are a fan of the spicy chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A, take a second look because the popular food chain will be offering a new one to shake up the playing field. For a limited time, the original spicy chicken sandwich will be joined by the new grilled spicy deluxe chicken sandwich. Participating restaurants will offer this bold flavor item as well as a limited time cilantro lime sauce and a grilled spicy marinade, all infused by the original, influenced rather, by the original spicy chicken sandwich. And Alex, just like I was telling you before, not the chicken sandwich, but the macaroni and cheese, every time I feel like getting some from there, it's Sundays, they're closed.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you generally really want Chick-fil-A, it's typically Sunday. And now that we're talking about it, it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But this is apparently the different chicken sandwich. This is the grilled chicken sandwich, and it's turned spicy. So it's not their breaded chicken, typical like original chicken sandwich. So
Look at you knowing all about Chick-fil-A.
Oh my gosh, Sean, I get so much free stuff from Chick-fil-A because I go so much.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, we'll give him a free drink or a free cookie, and then, you know, he'll spend $20 here. That they get me every time, but I still go back.
That's their plan, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was telling you I was getting a lot of that, the hibernation weight, as I like to put it.
Yeah.
A lot of it's Chick-fil-A. But no regrets. Zero regrets whatsoever, Sean.
I know that's right. I feel that same way about food as well. How's that forecast looking before we go?
We're going to have a pretty nice day today. We'll be around that 60-degree mark. Monday and Tuesday looks like we're going to warm up close to 70 degrees, and we'll see a chance for showers on Monday and Tuesday. So nice and warm, Sean.
See you next weekend.